Hello, welcome back to bennystake. I'm your girl Benny, and today I'm gonna be doing yet another sit down. I told you guys I'm trying to get better at like my makeup, so there's gonna be a lot of videos of me just like sitting down here attempting, to do my makeup a little bit. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. And everything that I'm using is going to be essentially linked. Not essentially, everything I'm using is going to be linked in the description box below. I have somewhat of a setup over here. I'm trying to hydrate. The first water bottle that I had just literally spilled, and I was so annoyed. But I got this, it's my little cute glasses or whatever. That is also linked on my Amazon storefront. That will be linked in the description of this video. And so without further ado, let's actually just go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so today, what am I going to be talking about? I have so many different topics, so if it feels as though I'm a little bit all over the place, please forgive me. And I'm looking this way because that's where my mirror is. I kind of have to see what's going on with my face, because I'm not about to be out here looking like a clown. I know a lot of y'all think I'm a clown, but I'm not. Like, I'm actually... It's not y'all fault. I feel like I don't be coming over here being serious, so... I'm not a clown, I'm trying to do my makeup or whatever the case is, get better at it. I just, bear with me is essentially what I'm saying. And so first thing I wanted to share, I had a dream, y'all. I had a dream last night. By the time you guys are watching this, it will probably have been a while. But I had a dream. I was at this influencer, event, and there's like one particular influencer that I really enjoy the work that they put out. I think they're very smart. I think they're incredible. I think they're beautiful. They're obviously black, because I just like looking at people that look like me doing the things or being in spaces that I want to be in, because that's just like, inspiring to see like, oh my gosh, she looks like me, or whatever the case is. So I had this dream that I was at this influencer, influencer event, and they did like a cake thing, like they did like a cake with like the face of like the different influencers, except they were doing it like for each individual influencer. It wasn't like at once. It was like a weird thing. I was like, dang, like I'm actually hungry, like when are we gonna get the food? Mind you, in the dream at that point, it was like 9:30 p.m. I'm like, are y'all gonna feed us or something? And then we're just like all laughing, and I even made the influencer that I like a lot, I made her laugh. But there was one other influencer who came. She had on like a purple dress. She was feeling a little uncomfortable, and I remember like making a joke, trying to build her up like, in conversation. And I remember her feeling comfortable, as we started, talking. And one of the other influencer girls that was there, she had like different necklaces that she was trying on. And one of the necklaces, she put like two, and then she wanted to lay another one. And then I was like, my sister, that one is giving like Babalawo vibes. Babalawo is like, those priests. Congolese people, we call them Bandakwanganga. And I was like, all those necklaces is giving like Babalawo vibes. Like you kind of have to lose one. And it was so funny. And that was a joke that made like, the influencer that I like laugh. And we're all just like there kikiking. It just felt like a nice little, black girl type kind of moment. And I was like laughing. I was laughing in the dream, and then I woke up. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like, first of all, Jesus, what are you trying to tell the girl? Like what's coming my way, And so for me, usually what I like to do is make sure that even when I'm praying for things, that I'm also positioning myself in position. I'm also positioning myself to be in a place where when these things are coming, baby, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to have... something to offer. I'm just not gonna be like, the opportunity is now here, and now you're struggling to even find your bearing. You don't know what is going on. Like, no, baby, I want to make sure that I stay informed, that I'm doing what I need to do. But it was just like a good dream, and it just encouraged me to keep creating. And on Instagram, by God's grace, like my platform has grown so much. Like so much. We do a lot of kikiing over there, and my goal is to grow YouTube as well. So that's just kind of like what's going on in this part of the world. But somebody gave me what I would say almost like as a feedback, was like, girl, all you keep doing is joking. Like, you keep joking about everything. And so like, what are you going to almost like be serious about and show up a little bit more? Not that that side of me is not good, it's very good. It's proven that it's, you know, people are relating to me, people are laughing with me, sometimes at me. You know, the whole Lord Danbury thing, you know, it was funny. But you know, I don't take life too seriously, and so I just always choose to be light and be just like fun. But I also need to show up, and that person was just kind of like, girl, like, you have to show up a little, not differently, but you have to show all sides of you. And so this is kind of like what I've been trying to do, at least with this, you know, platform. So different topics, different things that I see in media, you know, I'll be bringing it over here, and we'll just like, you know, talk about it, chat it up. And so with that said, let's start with the very first video that I saw, and I was just kind of like, what is going on? Like, what are you people doing? So this lady, let me just go ahead and play for you. I'm gonna leave it somewhere right here. Let me just go ahead and play it for y'all so y'all could see the foolery and the foolishness that is going on. Lord, give me the words that will be nice and kind to say this, but my first initial thought is, it's low-key giving crackhead, you know? It's low-key giving. This is exactly why he went ahead and found somebody else. What kind of behavior is this, ma'am? What kind of nonsensical thing is this? Like, why? You know, like, why would you do that? Why would you decide that this is how you want to show up at somebody's event? You know, now granted, if the ex was full of everything that's not godly, you know, and you want to get back at them, is there a way that you can find another way to do that? Because now that girl, that's her wedding day too. That's literally her wedding day, and here you are, you know, basically half naked, you know, with hair that looks like a crackhead. And more than anything, you are showing yourself. Like, you are actually showing yourself. Like, if you thought you ate in that moment, like, sis, I feel like you showed yourself. You showed how childish you are and how immature you really are by showing up dressed like that, trying to make a joke out of somebody else's wedding day. You know, that's just corny to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that. And, you know, somebody in the comments was like, this is exactly why, you know, he went ahead and married somebody else. Now, I don't know their dynamic. I don't know what's going on in their lives. But it's like, sis, what is this? Respect yourself. Like, why y'all, like, ain't no dude, let me personalize this, because ain't no dude that will ever get me to act like that. Let's be honest and let's keep it a buck. Like, I feel like as a woman, or just like as a person, you really have to have respect for your own self. When I be coming over here telling y'all respect yourself, y'all be thinking it's just like a slogan, but like, no, respect begins with yourself. The way you carry yourself, the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? The things that you do. The things you do, the way you show up really matters. And so now you will forever be the girl that came out here looking like a crackhead at somebody's wedding. And why would you want that? Why is that how you want to represent yourself? And to me, that was just like low-key corny. But to each their own, you know. And it got me thinking about me in particular. And one thing about me, even when people say negative things about me, like in the comments or whatever the case is, there is a way that I want to show up. there is a way I want to show up in the world. And I don't know what you would have to say to me that would really get me to get out of my own character. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at best, I'm finna block, I'm finna, like, you know, pull boundaries. You're not gonna get me to be out here acting in a way that now makes me look like a foolish goat. That's just what we're not finna do. And in that moment, I love you, black woman, but sis, you looked a little crazy. You looked a little crazy. It wasn't the look that you thought it gave. You didn't eat the girls. Like, you didn't. The results are in. It is proven that you didn't eat the girls. You didn't eat the girls. Like, you looked raggedy. You know, you looked raggedy, and it's like, girl, I want more for you. I really want more for you. And I was just kind of like, God dang, like, comment below. Has anybody ever done you so wrong that it made you want to act like that? And if so, I want to hear the tea. Like, you people, I want to hear the tea, because it's like, for me, ain't no way. Like, you're not about to do me like, you're not about to make me get out of character so much so that I'm just going to lose my own mind. Like, baby, we don't do that. Next up, we have this man.
Says, let's go to dinner. That's a red flag. You want to know why I say that? Because if your intentions were genuine, you would not want to go to dinner. You would not want to do something that requires a cost. Because this is about getting to know me. And if this was really about that, you'd be cool meeting me at the park, or meeting me at Starbucks, or why are we going to dinner? Because you're more interested in dinner than getting to know me. If a woman says, can we go to dinner? Cut that bitch.
Y'all don't like dinner? Like, y'all don't like dinner? We have such a problem with somebody wanting to have dinner? I don't get it. I don't get it. It is dinner, baby. You know? And it's like, it's one thing if you cannot afford, you know, maybe like a crazy expensive restaurant or whatever the case is, but somebody wanting to have dinner does not make them, you know, uninterested in you. Because now I'm feeling like a lot of us, we are saying anything, and I'm convinced we don't mean it. Because now I can't even eat. Like, why can't I just eat? Like, the rules to dating is just like getting out of pocket on both sides. I'm not just talking about men getting out of hand, but even women getting out of control. Like, I saw that video surfacing about the girl that got mad over, you know, Cheesecake Factory, that is, was actually the second plane because they were late, apparently, to the dates that the dude had initially, you know, proposed. So on one hand, people are complaining about cheesecake as a first date meal, and then on the other hand, y'all not even trying to do dinner? Like, like, what's going on? I don't understand what is going on. Like, we can't even just want to eat, because I like to eat. I like a lot of food. You know what I'm saying? And it shows that I do like a lot of food. You know what I mean? But like, a girl can't even eat? My God. And to the whole story of the cheesecake, first of all, y'all not gonna slander cheesecake, because them bread, that brown bread be so good. That brown bread really, it be like, y'all not gonna slander cheesecake. You know what I mean? And I'm just kind of like, the expectations around dating is getting out of control. And my thing is, if you know that you just wanna deal with somebody that wants to be walking out here, how about you go to the park, start walking, and see the other people that are walking, engage them in a conversation, instead of making it as some kind of a rule that you don't be talking to nobody that's trying to go out to dinner. Baby, I need nourishment. You know, I need, give me a croissant. You know, a croissant. Like, yo, even Jesus, when he fed the 5,000, was because them babies was out here, they was just hungry, and he was like, y'all need food, I'm gonna give y'all food. How y'all gonna just have me out here, now we just talking to death, and I can't even get me a dinner? You know, we are saying anything. We are saying anything, and I'm convinced of it. I'm trying to find a way, like, okay, what could he have meant? Like, what could he have possibly meant? And regardless of what he had meant, I feel like that's not how you start. This whole conversation around, like, if she wants dinner, and then you even call her the B word, which is like, that's already showing who you are and the kind of dude that you are already. And here you are complaining about dinner. Baby, if you broke, just say that. Like, if you are broke, just say that. And ain't nothing wrong, you know, with struggling a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. But like, if you are broke, say that. A grown man to be anti-dinner is just kind of cash crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing, it's like, you know, we're high school sweethearts. We're both in high school, baby. I'm going to the same class as you are. I'm not expecting that somehow you would have all this money to be out here splurging and taking me to dinner and doing all that and the third. But like, as a grown man, you can't even do dinner? Like, what is wrong with y'all? That's what I'm not understanding. Like, what is wrong with y'all? And what is wrong with us as a society that we're just so... It is crazy. Which is why I feel like a lot of African men, they do thrive in dating. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of African men, they got a lot of things going on too for themselves. But African men, they really go into dating with the mindset that I'm here to make sure that I take care of my lady. You know, granted, they have to do a little bit more than just providing, like, you know, finances or like giftings. You know, they have their own areas where they need to grow. But you're not catching an African man, for the most part, out here complaining like a traditional African man. They're not complaining about, I'm not finna take her to dinner because they're gold diggers, da 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 da. Like, our men are raised to want to pamper their women. That's just like the expert. That's literally like the bottom line. Which is why we do like bride price, because when you're about to come marry into somebody's family, like, you have to show yourself that you can take care of their daughter. The same way their dad took care of them, you need to show yourself that you can, you know, you can step up and take care of them. So in my culture, you know, you have to provide like a certain amount of money. You have to provide that the family decides. You have to provide a certain amount of money. You have to provide, you know, a certain amount of like goats. Like in my culture, they ask for goats. Other cultures, they ask for cows. Other cultures, they ask for like chickens. Like, it's like so many different things. But the whole point of it is not to exploit people. The point of it is to show that you as a man, you are ready to take care of your family financially too. Because let's be honest, you know, marriages, we kind of need bread. You know, we need to eat a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to eat a little bit. So if you're ready from the first date, here you are complaining about a goddamn dinner, baby. We're not gonna, it's gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? Which is why for me, I feel like I've seen a lot of you know, girls online in their dating, you know, journey. They talk a lot about just wanting to be friends with somebody, or only going out with people who's like maybe a mutual friend of a mutual friend. Because at least you kind of have that initial, you know, that initial checkpoint of like, okay, he's not a widow, you know, he's not gonna argue you over a goddamn dinner. Like, dinner is like basic. Dinner is basic. You know, it's just like, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. And I'm just kind of like, ooh, child. My God. Anyways, so the next topic that I wanted to end this on with was a post that I made. So now, I made this post a little while ago. Let me just go ahead and find it. So it was me reacting to a video. And the video was essentially talking about, you know, it was this lady who built this beautiful, just very, very beautiful multi-family, multi-generational family home. And so what that looked like was, there was a main house and then another house right next, you know, to the main house, like attached. Like the houses were attached, but like there was another one that's like a suite, essentially. And that suite, she basically said, the lady in the video, at least the text that she said was that that suite was for in-laws. So I'm inferring that the lady is married, you know, the lady is married, and her husband, again, I'm assuming it's the husband, I don't know, but her and her partner, let me just say, essentially built this home so that their in-laws are able to come and just like live with them within the same arrangement. And immediately I said no. I was like, absolutely not, bow your head, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm finna pray for you. God gonna have to make a way for you to get your own, because I'm not finna do that. And I'm not saying that as in like I don't want to live with my in-laws. I'm saying that like all together. Like, I don't want to live with my parents, and I certainly don't want to live with my in-laws either. Like, I just don't want our parents living with us that close. So a few comments came in, and let me read it to y'all. So this first comment came from an actual mother. She said, I would not want my kids to go through living in the same house with me. So when they have a disagreement, I am there. They have intimate moments, I am there. When they discipline their kids, I am there. I think it's torture. When does being parented stop? And when is parenting going to stop? No, my kids and their spouses and their kids need to build their own family, and I visit whenever I please. That was one of the comments. Definitely 1000% agree. The other comment came in was like, that's a very American view though, don't you think? Somebody said, to be honest, I feel like this is part of what is wrong with black culture. Many people of other cultures or ethnicities live like this, and the whole family prospers and are wealthy. I responded, I love this for them, but my mother is gonna drive me to drinking. So I'm gonna stop right here and just plug this in. I'm not anti-family. I love my family. You guys have heard me talk about community and how that's important for me. I thrive, you know, when I'm a part of a community. I thrive when I know we're all together and we're looking out for each other and whatever the case is. However, the points that I feel like I needed to add, because people made so many great points already under that post. Some people also shared really beautiful experiences of how, you know, their parents live with them or their in-laws live with them, and it helps with kids and all that stuff. I think all of that is a beautiful thing. But again, I grew up in a very, you know, traditional home. My mama didn't play. She was the kind of mama that was like, I ain't one of your little friends, you know, stay in a child's place, this, that, and the third. So for me, I grew up viewing my mother and my parents in general as very much just like disciplinarian, and I knew they loved me. I know they love me, but it was always like we don't have that relational type kind of bond. It's just like, you know, I'm the parent, you're the child, and there's a distance and there's a gap between us. And for me as a child, that was always odd. And now as an adult, you don't just flip the switch and it's like, now we're best friends, let's live next to each other. No. Like, we don't have that kind of relationship where like I want to be that close to you all the time. I annoyed my mother all the time growing up, and I said it in a video before, like I think I was the most whooped child in my family. Like, living with me, I'm sure my mom was just kind of like, girl, like, can you just like put a sock in it? And so we have differences, like we're so different, and I just don't want to do that. Like, I grew up viewing my parents in such a, just like they were such an authority, you know, and they still are, especially my mother. There was always just like this distance of like, I'm the parent, you're the child, stay in your place. There wasn't a lot of, you know, I didn't grow up with a lot of like affection I didn't grow up with a lot of, you know, being affirmed, like, you know, you are beautiful, you are this, you are that. I didn't grow up with a lot of that. So a lot of my confidence in who I've built, who I've become, I've literally built it in adulthood. I've literally built it, you know, exposing myself to other communities and exposing myself, you know, with other mentors and people who have been able to kind of like build that part of me, you know. And I love my mother to pieces. I know she loves me and she did her very best. Like, the woman that I am today, I credit that to one, God, and to my mother. However, that relationship of like, you know, we're so close and buddy, I don't have that. And a lot of us don't have that. And then another point that somebody made was that we have to be honest around this and not confuse culture with making do because we're poor. Because many black people end up living together, not necessarily because they want to, but just because it's like, yo, we ain't got no money to live apart. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, that is so true. And so now that I have the means, maybe down the block, you know what I'm saying? Like I could buy you a house down the block, but like that close of a proximity, it wasn't built for me from such a young age. And I'm not about to flip the switch. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us, we're just not doing that. And if we're being honest, especially if you grew up, you know, in an African household, and I'm not saying that we're all the same. No black people is a monolith. African people as a whole are not a monolith. Like Congolese homes, like Congolese people, we're not all a monolith. And I know some of my friends had a different experience. But a lot of us didn't. I'm sorry. A lot of us didn't. A lot of us grew up with parents that were just kind of like, you're the child, remain a child. Like a lot of our parents didn't talk to us about different things. A lot of our parents didn't trust, you know, us with certain informations that would have just drawn us, you know, closer to each other. Like I've never seen vulnerability within my home. I've never seen all of those things. And so we grow up with such a distance, and that's how you guys want it because you're the parent, and it's like da-da-da-da-da. And so now that we're older, I'm just supposed to switch up. I'm just supposed to now build a house, and now we're literally, I see you every day, you see me every day. When I was younger, like you made it clear that I annoyed you so much so that all you wanted to do was to be beating me. It's like I just don't wanna, I can't switch it up like that. You know, and this doesn't mean I don't love my mother. I love her to pieces. And honestly, my mama don't wanna live with me either. We view life so differently. I would get on her nerves as much as she would get on mine. You know, and it's just kind of like we have to be honest about that. And let's not confuse doing things out of necessity for actually doing them because you want to. You know, a lot of black people back in the day, they stayed together because they didn't have no other choice. There was no resources, there was no nothing. And I'm just kind of like, I agree with that parent that posted. Parenting has to stop at a certain point, and being parented, you know, has to stop at a certain point as well. Like we can't all just be here all the doggone time. You know what I'm saying? Those are my thoughts, y'all. Let me know what you think about everything that was discussed today. The first topic was of that baby embarrassing herself. What do you think? Has an ex ever crossed you so much so that you wanted to do them wrong? And if you did, what did you do? Did you go, you know, mess up their wedding day? Like what did the girls do when these dudes be acting out of pocket? What are the girls doing? I want to hear your stories. I also want to hear from your dating experiences. Ayana, liking dinner, is there any validity to this? Am I just like, am I the drama? Like, am I bugging? Or is like dinner basic? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I just like losing my mind? Am I spoiled? Or is like dinner just like literally basic? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know down below what y'all think about that. And lastly, also let me know this whole conversation around, you know, multi-generational homes. Do you live in one? Like, I want to see, like, what are other people doing? Like, do you live in one? What are some of the pros that maybe I'm just, like, missing? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? You know, like, talk to me in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. I'm really, really, really trying to reach 1,000 subscribers and even cross that. The goal is just 1,000 subscribers for now, but I obviously want to grow my page to just like whatever, you know, whatever that God wants this to be as. So definitely subscribe, share with a friend. You know, commenting helps. If you comment, it really, really goes a long way. And if you haven't, definitely check me on all these other platforms. You know, we do a lot of kiki, you know what I'm saying? Like, we do a lot of joking around over there. You know, it's a different pace. It's a different pace. So definitely check all of those things. Anything you need to know about how to support me is all gonna be in the description box down below. I do have merch. I have, like, I'm just so excited, like the merch that I have. Definitely check it out. Do all of the things, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, Z's.